Hello, esteemed gentlemen. If you're not being misunderstood, you're not doing anything legendary. Unknown, probably a Sigma who ghosted the group chat and built an empire instead. There's a reason why less than 1% of men are truly Sigma. It's not just about being lone wolves or quietly confident, and no, that's Instagram nonsense. The truth? Sigma males are wired differently, not better, not worse, just built for a different battlefield. They don't follow the social script, and that makes people very uncomfortable. In fact, studies in behavioral psychology show that people are instinctively suspicious of individuals who operate outside group norms, not because they're wrong, but because they can't be controlled. And nothing scares society more than an uncontrollable man. This video isn't some recycled list of he's mysterious and he wears hoodies. Nah, we're going deep into the dark, uncomfortable rituals Sigma males live by. Habits that are so brutal, so unrelatable, most people wouldn't last a week living this way. Oh, and if you're here expecting affirmations and comfort, buddy, you took the wrong turn at Alpha Avenue. Let's get into the 12 uncomfortable things only Sigma males do. And why these uncomfortable truths are the reason they dominate silently. Number 1. They disconnect from sexual urges to regain control. Sigma males disconnect from sexual urges not because they're anti-pleasure, but because they understand how dangerous unchecked desire can be. They've been through the chaos, chasing lust, making impulsive decisions, losing focus, and they've seen how easily a man can be controlled by his need for validation, attention, and physical release. After enough damage, they make a brutal decision. Desire will no longer lead, it will follow. They're not monks sitting on mountaintops. They're not celibate out of shame or fear. They simply know that when a man is ruled by his urges, he's predictable, and predictability makes you vulnerable. You chase what you crave, and that gives other people, especially manipulative women and power-hungry systems, leverage over you. Sigma males eliminate that threat by starving the beast. They don't run from lust. They trap it, study it, and chain it until it obeys them. This creates an unsettling kind of man, one who isn't swayed by flirty glances, compliments, or promises of affection. Women can't use seduction as a weapon. Society can't dangle instant gratification like bait. Sigma males have trained themselves to want nothing badly enough to be controlled by it. That kind of restraint? It's terrifying to people who thrive on control. Most men live at the mercy of their lower drives. The Sigma lives above them. He can enjoy intimacy, but it never owns him. He doesn't scroll endlessly, chase validation, or burn his energy on chasing short-term dopamine. That energy gets redirected into building, creating, sharpening. His discipline becomes a force field. And the more detached he becomes from the need to be wanted, the more magnetic he becomes without trying. This isn't about repression. It's about reclaiming dominance over your own mind. While other men fall for honey traps, digital illusions, and the dopamine drip of lust, Sigma males sit at the top of that battlefield, unshaken, watching others self-destruct over urges they've already buried. It's uncomfortable, it's extreme, but that's why it works. Because a man who doesn't need sex to feel powerful, important, or whole terrifies the entire system. Number 2, they kill their past self repeatedly. Sigma males kill their past self repeatedly, not out of regret, but out of necessity. They don't cling to who they were last year, last month, or even last week. To them, identity is not a badge you wear forever. It's a tool you sharpen, use, then toss when it no longer serves you. While most people cling to familiarity like it's life support, the Sigma male is already packing his mental bags and moving on. If a version of himself is getting in the way of his growth, it dies. No funeral, no mourning. This is why you'll rarely see a Sigma male stuck in the same job, relationship, or mindset for too long. As soon as he senses stagnation, he starts mentally dismantling the environment around him, quietly, methodically. If the room feels too small, he doesn't redecorate. He breaks the walls down and builds something bigger. And sometimes that means cutting off people who once meant everything to him. Not because he's cold, but because they refuse to evolve, and he refuses to rot. What makes this uncomfortable is that most people are addicted to identity. They want to be known as something: the loyal friend, the nice guy, the hard worker. Sigma males aren't interested in labels like that. They'll be the loyal friend one day and the ghost who disappeared the next if it means protecting their evolution. They are willing to destroy their own reputation to become who they need to be. That level of detachment from ego is terrifying to the average person. There's no ceremony to it, no drama. One day he just stops showing up as the version of himself you thought you knew. And if you confront him, you'll get nothing but a quiet stare and a calm, "That's not who I am anymore." It's uncomfortable because it's radical. Most people spend their lives building a brand. Sigma males spend their lives burning the blueprint and redesigning themselves from scratch. That's how they stay sharp. That's how they stay dangerous. Reinvention isn't a phase for them. It's a lifestyle. And if you can't evolve with them, you become part of the past. And they don't resurrect the past. They bury it. Number 3, they test people without them knowing. Sigma males test people without them knowing. Not to manipulate, but to understand what they're really dealing with. Every conversation, every favor, every harmless moment is actually part of a silent audit. While others are busy being polite or emotionally reactive, the Sigma male is scanning. He's not looking for perfection. He's looking for truth, and most people are trying way too hard to hide it. He'll ask a question with no real purpose, just to see how you respond under pressure. He'll share a small success just to see if your smile reaches your eyes or if jealousy flickers for half a second. He might mention something vulnerable, not because he needs comfort, but to see if you use it against him later. These aren't games. They're systems of detection. Sigma males aren't paranoid. They're just hyper-aware of how quickly people switch up when opportunity, ego, or power enters the room. What makes this so uncomfortable is that most people don't even realize they're being tested. They think they're just having a casual chat, not knowing that their tone, choice of words, or delayed response is being filed away as data. And Sigma males don't forget. If you lie once, exaggerate too often, gossip too freely, or react too emotionally, they clock it. They don't lash out. They don't call you out. They adjust access. If they sense you're loyal, grounded, and not driven by ego, you'll be trusted more than most ever will be. But if you fail the test, even once, you may never know you did. You'll just notice he starts speaking less, sharing less, and appearing less often. That's the Sigma way. They don't explode, they erase, and they erase quietly. This is why being close to a Sigma male feels different. You can't fake the connection. You can't lie your way in. Every interaction is silently monitored for consistency. Every word is weighed. Because to him, relationships aren't built on charm or chemistry. They're built on invisible truths revealed when no one thinks they're being watched. Most people fail the test before they even know they were taking one. And once they fail, there's no second exam. Number 4, they mentally prepare for betrayal, even from people they love. Sigma males mentally prepare for betrayal, even from the people they love. It sounds cold, even ruthless, but it's not about being heartless, it's about being real. These men have lived long enough, watched close enough, and lost enough to know one brutal truth. Loyalty is often conditional. People say they'll never leave until they do. Friends change when you succeed. Lovers change when you stop playing their emotional games. Even family can switch up when money, power, or pride enters the room. Sigma males don't walk around paranoid or bitter. They just see the patterns others refuse to face. They've seen how quickly "I've got your back" turns into silence when things get hard. They've noticed how most people are only as loyal as their last benefit. So instead of being caught off guard, they build a kind of emotional armor. They love, but with eyes wide open. They support, but they don't build their identity around anyone. They can care deeply, but they never get blinded by it. This mental preparation isn't about pushing people away. It's about not letting betrayal destroy them when it comes. Because for the Sigma, everything is strategy. And if you know betrayal is possible, it won't shake you to your core when it hits. It'll hurt, but it won't break you. Most men collapse under betrayal because they never thought it could happen. Sigma males already factored it in before the first handshake or kiss. And the real twist? By expecting betrayal, they actually stay more grounded in their relationships. They're not naive, so they don't put unrealistic pressure on people. They accept that humans are flawed, tempted, and sometimes weak. That doesn't mean they forgive snakes, but it does mean they're never shocked when someone shows their true skin. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it gives the Sigma male his edge. While others play the trust game with blindfolds on, he's already mapped the exit routes, watched the tells, and made peace with walking alone if he has to. That's not darkness, that's clarity. And clarity, that's power. Number 5. They romanticize discipline, not pleasure. Sigma males romanticize discipline the way most people romanticize pleasure. While the average person wakes up chasing comfort, shortcuts, or the next hit of dopamine, the Sigma male is focused on something very few people even find appealing anymore: self-mastery. He doesn't get high off the weekend, the dessert, the attention, or the likes. His real dopamine hit? Saying no when it would be easier to say yes. To the outside world, it looks insane. Why would anyone choose the harder path, the early morning, the lonely grind, the mental silence over endless entertainment and stimulation? But that's the difference. Sigma males aren't addicted to ease, they're addicted to growth. Pleasure might feel good, but discipline builds you. And while most people are busy numbing themselves, the Sigma male is sharpening himself. He trains his mind to obey his mission, not his mood. If something needs to be done, he doesn't debate with his feelings about it. He does it. If temptation shows up, he doesn't flirt with it, he starves it. And this doesn't make his life boring. In fact, it gives his life depth. Because once you fall in love with discipline, everything opens up. Your body listens. Your time becomes sacred. Your presence becomes powerful. The truth is, most people are slaves in disguise. Slaves to craving, slaves to laziness, slaves to outside approval. Sigma males flip that on its head. They own themselves. And in a world where everyone's hooked on quick pleasure, a man who's fully in control of himself becomes rare, dangerously rare. That's why Sigma males are often underestimated at first. They're not flashy, they're not chasing trends, but over time, they quietly dominate. Because while others were chasing comfort, the Sigma was building stamina, mental armor, and laser focus. They know something most don't. Pleasure fades fast, but discipline compounds. And when life hits hard, as it always does, the disciplined man doesn't break. He steps forward. That's the Sigma's romance. Not soft lights and soft beds, but steel mornings, clear minds, and the brutal beauty of being in command of everything that wants to control you. Number 6. They embrace the loneliness that would break most men. Sigma males embrace the kind of loneliness that would mentally crush most men. Not because they're immune to it, but because they've made peace with it. They've stopped trying to escape the silence. They've stopped filling the void with distractions, people, or fake purpose. Instead, they step into it willingly. Loneliness isn't their enemy, it's their training ground. This kind of solitude is not romantic or peaceful. It's raw. It's uncomfortable. It forces you to hear your own thoughts with no noise to drown them out. Most men avoid it at all costs. They'll jump from relationship to relationship, drown in social media, or stay in toxic friendships just to avoid being alone with themselves. But Sigma males, they go the other way. They walk into the fire and sit there. And the longer they sit, the stronger they become. They use loneliness the way warriors use weighted armor. It's heavy at first, it drags, it tests your mental stability. But over time, it builds a kind of inner muscle most people never develop. You stop needing company to feel valid. You stop needing attention to feel alive. You become your own validation, your own clarity, your own compass. This makes people uncomfortable. Society doesn't know what to do with a man who's not begging for connection, a man who can disappear for months and come back more focused than ever, a man who's not scared of himself. That's power most people can't understand and definitely can't manipulate. And here's the paradox. Because Sigma males are so comfortable being alone, they don't settle for cheap company. They're not thirsty for anyone's presence, which means when they do choose to connect, it's intentional, not needy. Their solitude becomes a filter. Only the rarest energy makes it through. Loneliness breaks most men because they use others to distract them from themselves. Sigma males do the opposite. They strip everything away until there's nothing left but truth, and in that brutal stillness, they forge something society can't mass-produce: self-respect, self-mastery, and unshakable power. Number 7. They refuse to be emotionally rescued. Sigma males refuse to be emotionally rescued because they know that every emotional favor comes with a price tag, spoken or not. They're not ungrateful, and they're not too proud to admit pain. But they are hyper-aware of how quickly help can turn into control, and how comfort can become a leash. They'd rather face the storm alone, bleeding and exhausted, than owe someone a piece of their emotional autonomy. It's not that they think they can do everything alone, it's that they must. Their independence isn't just a trait, it's their core identity. The second they feel someone trying to fix them emotionally, they pull back. Because emotional rescuing, no matter how well-intentioned, often morphs into something transactional. One day it's, "I'm here for you," and the next it's, "After all I've done for you." Sigma males don't play that game. They don't want to be someone's project or emotional investment. They've seen how people wrap their identity around being needed, how they feed off being the hero in someone else's story. Sigma males don't give anyone that script. They don't hand over their emotional lows for someone else to manage. If they're broken, they fix themselves. If they're lost, they chart their own way back. And yes, this means they suffer more. It means longer nights, heavier burdens, and a silence most men aren't built to carry. But that pain is theirs. That process is private, and that independence earned through internal war is what sharpens their mental edge. Because once you've rebuilt yourself without a support system, you become someone nobody can ever truly own. It confuses people. Friends feel shut out, lovers feel unneeded, mentors feel rejected. But it's not rejection, it's a line drawn in steel. Sigma males don't confuse connection with dependence. You can walk beside them, but you can't carry them. In a world where everyone is told to open up and let others in, Sigma males go against the current, not because they're cold, but because they know this truth. When someone else rescues you, they hold the pen to your story. And a Sigma male never lets someone else write his ending. Number 8. They sabotage shallow relationships to make room for deeper solitude. Sigma males will intentionally sabotage shallow relationships, not to hurt anyone, but to clear space for something more valuable than most connections offer: mental freedom. They don't thrive in half-hearted conversations, surface-level friendships, or energy-draining interactions that go nowhere. And instead of pretending, instead of faking interest, they'd rather burn the bridge themselves. Quietly, efficiently, no drama, no closure, no explanations. Sometimes they ghost, sometimes they vanish. Sometimes they provoke subtle tension, just enough friction to make the other person leave on their own. Not because they enjoy conflict, but because most people don't take a hint unless you hand it to them wrapped in discomfort. And a Sigma won't wait around hoping people get the message. He delivers it without words by pulling his presence entirely. What unnerves people is how unapologetic this detachment is. The average man will keep shallow friendships just to avoid being alone. He'll keep answering texts, showing up to fake social plans, entertaining people he's mentally done with, just to feel included. Sigma males see that as weakness. They don't need background noise. They don't crave filler relationships. If a connection lacks depth, authenticity, or mutual evolution, they cut it. What they're really doing is making space, mental space. That's their currency. That's their high. They crave the stillness that allows them to think clearly, move freely, and reconnect with their own inner power. Every shallow interaction is a leak in that system. Every pointless conversation is mental clutter, and the Sigma mind is like a minimalist fortress. Only the essential stays. Everything else gets purged. This is why people often describe Sigma males as cold or too distant. It's not coldness, it's calculated withdrawal. They don't hate you. They're just done pretending to care when they don't. And once their internal compass points towards solitude, nothing, not guilt-tripping, not emotional manipulation, can pull them back. It's uncomfortable. It burns bridges, but it also makes room for what most people never experience: depth, clarity, and unfiltered thought. And to a Sigma male, that's worth more than 10 shallow relationships combined. Number 9. They use boredom as a training tool. While most people panic when faced with boredom, constantly reaching for their phones, TV remotes, or any quick fix to fill the emptiness, Sigma males embrace it. They don't just tolerate boredom. They use it as a weapon. In a world where attention spans are shrinking and distractions are constant, the Sigma male finds peace in the quiet. And in that peace, he finds power. Boredom, to him, isn't an enemy. It's the canvas upon which creativity thrives. While others frantically search for something to occupy their minds, the Sigma male dives into the stillness. He's not running from the discomfort of nothingness. He's leaning into it, knowing that in the absence of constant stimulation, his mind has the freedom to wander, think deeply, and create. In those moments of mental blankness, he's not just idle. He's sharpening his edge. He's plotting. He's strategizing. He's processing. Most people, when faced with boredom, drown in it. They feel it as a lack, as something that needs to be fixed or filled. But the Sigma male sees it as an opportunity to build mental endurance, to flex the muscles of focus and discipline. Boredom becomes the crucible in which his creativity is forged. The stillness allows him to see patterns others miss, to connect dots between seemingly unrelated ideas, and to quietly execute on plans that others never even thought of. It's in those moments of nothingness that he refines his craft, hones his goals, and sharpens his mind into a weapon no one can match. This isn't just about being productive either. It's about developing the kind of mental toughness that comes from sitting with your own thoughts, unbothered by outside noise. While others need to be constantly doing, the Sigma male knows the power of being. In a world that's designed to distract, he remains the calm center in the storm, letting boredom fuel his mental clarity and focus. So while most people are addicted to the quick highs of distraction, the Sigma male builds his own momentum in silence. And when the noise finally fades, he's the one standing at the top, having crafted something rare and dangerous from the very thing others feared. Number 10. They keep a mental dossier on everyone close to them. Sigma males keep a mental dossier on everyone close to them. It's not something they write down or talk about. It's all internal, all quietly catalogued in the depths of their minds. They don't need a journal, a spreadsheet, or a diary to keep track of the people in their lives. Every interaction, every conversation, every look or gesture is stored away like data in a private vault, carefully analyzed and logged for future reference. There's a reason why Sigma males seem so quiet, so observant. They're watching, always. They're not doing it out of distrust, but out of a deep understanding of human nature. Loyalty is valuable, but so is authenticity. Lies, inconsistencies, and hidden motives don't slip by unnoticed. The Sigma male isn't overtly confrontational. He doesn't need to catch you in the act. He just remembers. He stores it in a mental file, categorizing each person based on how they've shown their true colors. They'll notice the small things, the subtle shifts in tone, the change in behavior, the flicker of jealousy in your eyes when you think no one's looking. They see the cracks that others miss. They notice when someone's loyalty is conditional, when they're hiding something, when their actions don't match their words. It's not that the Sigma male holds grudges, it's that he values trust above all else. And once that trust is broken, or even just questioned, it's logged and stored, no emotional outburst required. In the Sigma's world, people are assets or liabilities, and the mental dossier determines whether you stay or go. If you're loyal, consistent, and true to your word, you'll find a place in his circle that few ever do. But if you slip up even once, you may not even know it's happening, but your access will be slowly reduced, your importance quietly minimized. One day, you'll just find yourself on the outside, wondering where things went wrong. And by then, it'll be too late. The Sigma male doesn't need to act on every piece of information he gathers. He doesn't need to confront every lie, every inconsistency, or every betrayal. He simply files it away and waits. He keeps his distance, and when the time comes, he'll decide whether you stay or whether you're exiled for good. There's no emotional drama, no explosive confrontation, just the quiet, calculated decision to move on. Because in the world of the Sigma male, trust is earned, and disloyalty, it's quietly discarded. Number 11. They study the weaknesses of those who try to dominate them. Sigma males don't fight authority with noise or rebellion. They don't waste energy on loud arguments or public defiance. Instead, they study their oppressors, their challengers, and anyone who tries to dominate them, quietly observing their weaknesses like a strategist mapping out a battlefield. They take their time, biding their moment, and in the silence they reverse engineer power itself. They understand that to defeat someone in authority, you don't have to confront them head-on. You just need to understand their vulnerabilities, their blind spots, their weaknesses, and everyone has them. Whether it's a boss who gets defensive when questioned, a leader who avoids uncomfortable decisions, or a manipulator who crumbles when exposed, Sigma males learn to detect these cracks. They don't rush to exploit them. They wait, sometimes for months, even years, until the perfect moment arises. This isn't about power for the sake of power. It's about control. Control over their own environment, control over their future, and control over their own path. They won't let anyone dominate them by force or influence because they know how to dismantle authority in a way that doesn't require a single word or act of rebellion. They just watch, wait, and then strike when the time is right. When they finally act, it's not dramatic, it's subtle. It's a quiet shift that exposes a weakness in the person who thought they had control. It's a quiet move, a change in direction, a masterstroke that flips the power dynamic without a single sound. The Sigma male knows that real power isn't about flaunting your strength. It's about knowing where the cracks are and patiently, effortlessly slipping through them when everyone else is too distracted to notice. This makes them dangerous, not because they're loud or brash, but because they understand the game better than anyone else. They don't need to fight against authority. They let authority fall apart on its own, and when it does, they're already positioned to step into the void unscathed. It's the silent mastery of dismantling systems from the inside out. Number 12. They train themselves to be unapproachable. Sigma males train themselves to be unapproachable, not because they want to appear arrogant or standoffish, but because they've consciously designed their energy to repel nonsense. Their presence is like a force field, one that instinctively filters out the distractions, the drama, and the shallow attention seekers who only serve to drain them. They don't need to engage with everyone, and they certainly don't waste their energy on people who won't add value to their lives. This isn't about being rude, it's about being intentional. Sigma males have learned that their time and mental bandwidth are precious, and they can't afford to waste either on people who aren't aligned with their mission, purpose, or level of understanding. They don't entertain small talk, they don't indulge in gossip, and they won't engage in empty pleasantries. If someone feels unwelcome in their presence, that's not a mistake. It's the result of a carefully curated aura. They understand that in a world full of noise, you must cultivate a space where only those worthy of your time and energy are drawn in. The weak, the insecure, and the energy vampires. They'll sense that repellent aura and keep their distance. But the strong, the intelligent, and those who operate on a higher frequency, they'll be intrigued because they'll sense that they're dealing with someone who doesn't chase approval or attention. Someone whose presence demands respect. It's not arrogance because Sigma males don't need validation from others. Their sense of self-worth is built on their own terms, and they've learned to maintain boundaries that preserve their energy. They don't need to prove anything to anyone. If people hesitate before approaching them, it's not a reflection of insecurity. It's a sign that they've created an environment where only the strongest minds, the most genuine individuals, dare to enter. And for the Sigma male, that's exactly how he likes it. By being unapproachable, they don't just protect their peace. They attract the elite. The ones who are self-assured, who are driven by purpose, who recognize the value of mental space and respect the power of silence. This selective filtering doesn't just create exclusivity. It ensures that only those who truly deserve their time get access to their world. In a world full of noise, distractions, and constant motion, Sigma males stand apart. Not out of arrogance, but out of a deep understanding of who they are and what they need to thrive. They don't seek approval, validation, or confirmation from others because they've already found it within themselves. They navigate life with a quiet intensity, embracing solitude, mastering their emotions, and honing their minds with precision. They aren't afraid to step away from the crowd, challenge the norms, and craft a life that's uniquely their own. Each choice they make, from training their silence to dismantling authority quietly, is rooted in one simple truth. Power is about control. Control over themselves, their environment, and the narrative they live by. And that control isn't about dominating others. It's about owning their space, their time, and their energy in ways most people never even think to do. To be a Sigma male is to be a master of your own destiny, to carve a path that isn't defined by the expectations of others, but by your own unyielding sense of purpose. It's not always easy, and it's not always comfortable, but it's real. And in a world that often rewards conformity, the Sigma male stands as a testament to the strength of self-reliance, quiet confidence, and mental mastery. So the next time you find yourself wondering why Sigma males seem so unreachable, so unbothered, it's because they've already done the hard work of defining who they are, and they're not about to let anyone else dictate their terms. They don't chase the world. They shape it silently from the inside out. And that's the kind of power that speaks louder than words ever could. If you've made it this far, you've just unlocked a deeper understanding of what it truly means to live on your own terms, like a Sigma male. If you're ready to dive even deeper into this mindset and discover more about mastering your own life, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on content that challenges the norm and empowers you to break free from the noise. Don't forget to like this video if you found it valuable, because when you engage, it helps us bring you more high-quality insights that'll keep you ahead of the game. If you have thoughts, questions, or your own experiences to share, comment below. Let's build a conversation that elevates everyone who's striving to level up. And of course, if you know someone who could benefit from this perspective, share this video with them. The more minds we can inspire, the stronger we all become. Until next time, stay silent, stay focused, and stay in control.